Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. Today we are going to take a look at a PC build guide that I made for somebody, and usually I charge about $50 to talk through some of these parts and what they do. But if you're already an experienced builder, you're just kind of looking for a reference point. This build comes out to about $3,000 to $3,300. You can find some parts definitely cheaper. So if you were, let's say for instance, you live somewhere where you can grab or you can go to a micro center, right? You can go somewhere like that and you'll be able to get it. So let's open this up. I'll leave a link to this build in the description, but the way you would read this is in this left column, it's a couple of tables. You have the part, so 13700K, DDR4 Z790, HPV10, which is some B-die RAM. It's 32 gigs there. The SSDs and things like that, I mean, it's interchangeable, right? But I just went for like the best experience that I would have liked. And a lot of these parts I own. Minus the HPV10, I have some G-Skill, which is also DDR5 3200C14, and you're able to just tune that up a little bit and get it up to, I think it was up to 4000 C32, or no, 4000 C15. What am I saying? I'm crazy. Anyways, so let's start and we'll take a look at all these. And you know, this is another piece that I want to disclose to y'all is if y'all click on these links, I wish I would had a way to just put everything in a cart. If somebody knows a way to just put everything in a cart and somebody just click buy now and I get credit like PC Part Picker does, let me know. But right now, if you buy anything from these links, I do get a small commission. But for you, I would say go wherever you get the cheapest price, right? There's another section on the far right if you want a little bit more oomph or you got a little bit more to spend. I've seen the 13900K for as low as like $495. So always check the prices, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. Over here, we've got the 13700K. It's a great CPU for productivity, a little bit faster than the last generation i9, and you got the price over here at $415. The MSI Z790 Tomahawk is the board that is the Z790 version of the Z690 that I had. So it's a newer version there. So we'll click on this here. You can just take a look. This is the 13700K, sold and shipped by Amazon. We'll be able to get it today, so that's pretty dope, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that motherboard here. What I like about this board is that it's DDR4, so you can slap in some B-die. It's pretty easy to tune. There's so many guides out there that exist that you really can't go wrong, so that it's a win, right? So that's definitely a big plus when you look at DDR4 versus DDR5. I'm still trying to learn DDR5. Because it's kind of gangster, man. It's just so much. It's so finicky that you can't even get like into Windows if like one setting is wrong. So I don't have that much time to dedicate to it. I'm just not going to spend that much. I was really excited that this price dropped down. So it's $130 for this kit of RAM. Right. This used to be about $200 something. But you get 32 gigs. It's C14. And it's 3200 megahertz. So you would actually go ahead and just overclock this. But your starting point, if you're not a technical person, the reason this kit is on this build is because you can just click on XMP and go play your games, right? You'll get like 75-80% of the performance without having to do anything else. I don't know if you could do all 64 gigs if you fill all the 4 DIMM slots. I haven't personally tried it. That'll give you 64 gigs, but I wouldn't do it. I would get the 2 to make 32 gigs and then roll with that. And if you order a second kit, it's still less than what you would pay for like the older Corsair DDR4 module. So great buy here, typically out of stock, but happens to be in, and it went down in price. Now the drives that you get in your PC, I would recommend NVMe's for Windows, SSDs for games, but NVMe's are starting to come down in price. So you can actually go get yourself another NVMe like this 2 terabyte here. I think it's 107 when I first built this, but it's probably lower now. So yeah, $86.99. That's a steal, right? So that you will put your games on. You're not gonna have any loading issues, and it's a 2 terabyte. So it's a 2 terabyte NVMe, and I like to have a high quality drive. Like Team Group, I'm not saying they're poor quality, But for your games, it's just whatever, right? Like usually when you buy a pre-built at the store, your game drive that they give you is going to be a spinning drive, usually 7,200 RPMs and pretty trash and audible at that, so you can actually hear it. Whereas this is going to be an NVMe. They're super easy to install. If you're bored if you decide not to get this Tomahawk and you get your own board, or you want to go DDR5 or whatever the case might be, you could actually go ahead and buy a kit if it doesn't come with the NVMe installation. You could just buy the screws and the standoffs that you need, and they're like $5-10, right? So you can just if you get a different kind of board. So here's the Samsung drive that I use. I use it on pretty much all my PCs. It's about $50. I got mine for like 15 because I had some reward points and stuff. As you can see, last purchased November 1st. They're available everywhere. You can get them at Best Buys. You can get them at pretty much anywhere. This has just been very reliable for me. So this is my preferred boot drive. Let's see what else we got here. Another place you're going to spend a lot of money is the power supply. Unfortunately, 1,000 watts, before, when I first got into PC gaming, like an 850 watt was more than anybody ever needed. So you were able to get those for like 750, 800 watts for, I don't know, they were pretty cheap, like $120. But they've gone up a bit. And right now, 1,000 watt is 190 to 220, is depending on the brand you get. And some are more, right? Like if they have more features, you're going to pay a little bit more. I like Corsair. It's a super popular brand. It's very reliable. So I have no issues just recommending Corsair to anybody. Port selection is decent, like as far as like how many PCIe slots you get and things like that. And that's what I have my 13900K set up with. My 7950X, I went ahead and tried to get an ATX, the ATX3 power supply with the 12-volt high power connector already built in. But yeah, that ended up just being more headache than it was worth, right? Because now I have to figure out something else for my PCIe to get three individual PCIe cables to go. So I don't know. That was a little bit of annoying. This is my case. I have two of them. The Lee & Lee 011 Dynamic. So that it's just an easy case to build in. This has come down a little bit too. It was 180 when I got it. And the last one I bought was in June, but I also have a white one. So I got a black one for my AMD build at one time, and I had a white one. So that's just the case. But the case is really a preference thing. At 160, I think that's fair, especially given what you can do with this case. You can go water cooling, you can do whatever you want. And of course, just like before when I showed you the 13900K on the right side, you got your alternatives. So you can just look over to the right, and I have the same exact setup. So like why the alternative is recommended. So like for instance, the Unifan, it's a 3-pack of fans that just like goes into one connector. And I also put that you would need 2 to really flush out your system, make it look nice. So like if you look here, they look really nice in the Lee & Lee cases. Everybody has these, but for me, one of my builds has the Corsair fans that I've accumulated. It's the white fans, so with the white build, it just goes perfectly fine. And my other build has the Arctic P12s. So those are just black fans, no RGB, but that is in my black case, so it's kind of smoked out, and that's the way I actually prefer it. The only RGB comes from like the RAM, and since I switched over to the Arctic cooler, the RAM really is the only thing, because I turn off the Aura lighting. The graphics card, if you wanted to look at just about everything here, and kind of switch out the graphics card, this is going to be the bulk of the money spent. So essentially totaling everything else, right? And this is a 4090. But this is why I tell folks to build their own PC, because here's a 13700K. And the entire build, you might want to throw in like, a couple $100 extra, like $200 for just little things here and there that you might need to pick up, like graphics card holder or anti-sag bracket, which most of these cards come with. The Supreme X actually comes with a really nice one, but it's $3,250.41 before tax. Right now, if we were to go to, let's say, Amazon, and I typed in RTX 4090 pre-built, right? So we're looking at $39.99, and $3,900 for a 4090, 13900 KF. You don't know what kind of RAM you're getting in there, right? You don't know. It's not. I bet you. Oh yeah, you do actually right here. 5200 megahertz, which is going to be significantly slower than the DDR4. And if you did want to try to tune it, it's DDR5. So God bless. This is a very nice looking one, but it's $4,000. So is $800 worth it to you to kind of make that jump? 13900 KF. And keep in mind, it was only going to be another $120 to get a 13900K with that pre-built. So here's a SkyTech case. It's a decent case. I mean, there's nothing to write home about, but 3,800, 4,000, 3,300 looks decent here. It's a 7700X, so it's a slower processor, and a 2 terabyte HDD. So as I was saying earlier, with those terrible spinning drives, that's what you're getting there. This looks kind of strange to me, but it looks like a workstation. 4090, 13900K, probably really slow RAM. Right, but this is a be more like a work computer. So this is the closest thing, and it's not really built for gaming or for speed or for anything like that. This one's actually less than what we came up to. But what are they cutting out? It's a 5700X. So the gaming performance, this is going to bottleneck this GPU so damn much that you can go ahead and save that money and, you know, just wonder why in the forums your FPS is like 30, 40 less or 50 less, and you spent like $3,000 on a machine. This one, they're straight up cracking your skull to get. So it's a 5900X, and you get the gist. I'm not going to really roll into any more. Most of these are, you know, either older parts with a high-end GPU, or they're RGB and they're just charging you for that. Now, granted, you could go ahead and swap out some things. Instead of getting all black fans, you can go get, you know, some nicer fans if you want. You know, instead of just getting black, if you want some color, that's up to you. But I just wanted to kind of build this out to show some folks that there are definitely a lot of choices for you to have. And if you want to go through my list, or if you want to just go through PC Part Picker, go for it. But if you just want to go through my list, and if you purchase anything, like I said, I'll get credit for it. But don't feel, you know, like I'm like trying to force you or anything like that. So yeah, if you have questions, throw it in the comment section. Or if you have any recommendations that you would want to tweak to this for other users to see, I could pin something that's super helpful. So if somebody has a very helpful comment, you know, you can either, I'm just going to drop a comment, and if you want to drop one on top of it, cool. And if you just want to go ahead and maybe write your own, that's also fine. And like I said, I'll pin anything that's super, super useful. All right, I'll catch you on the flip, and let me know what you thought about this video. If you want me to go to target a specific budget that I would personally build, I could recreate this from scratch for some of y'all with a particular budget in mind, and stay away from stuff like like some of the pre-builds, like Alienware. No shade to them, but I mean, I just feel like it's pretty wild. Let's see what they got 4090 for. I think their top of the line is called the R15. Let's see. Yeah, so 13900F. So you can't even overclock this one. 32 gigs of DDR5, 4090 air cooled, 1350 watt power supply, but $5,700. So if you take that 33 with all custom parts, all high end parts, easily interchangeable, versus this can't be from them, bro. I don't know who's on this kind of crack. This is wild. Yeah, this is like some random third party just stealing. But yeah, man, back to what I was saying. I'll catch y'all on the flip. If y'all got any questions, throw it in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer as many, and I'll pin whatever is the most helpful. All right, catch you on the flip. Peace.